Good morning, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. I just finished a workout. I kind of dried off a little bit, but I was like so sweaty. You know when you're doing a really hard workout and you're like, I don't think I can go any further. I was like at that moment where I was like about to give up. I'm like, no, one more round. I found it within me to like keep going, and I did it, and I feel so accomplished. Super sweaty, but I wanted to share with you just like this quick morning routine after working out. I'm gonna hit the shower because I'm kind of sweaty. I'm gonna hit the shower, wash my hair, and then I'll meet you right back here. We'll do some skincare. Okay, I feel so much more like refreshed and clean and cooled off. My skin is starting to feel a little bit dry, so I'm just gonna do a quick blast of the Avene thermal water. And this just feels so good, especially like right after like a hot shower. It kind of cools your skin down a little bit, and it really helps to support like healthy skin. So I like that little blast of water on my skin. And then I'm gonna go in for toner right away because I gotta get the hydration in. I'm gonna just use the good old faithful Make Prem Essence Relief Toner, which you know that I absolutely love, love, love. And it's super hot today. It's about 90 degrees and humid. So I want to keep my layers like really hydrating, really plumping, and a little bit on the lighter side. For me, a little bit on the lighter side. So really my kind of strategy here for hot weather, but keeping my skin really, really hydrated is just really layering on the humectants, starting from the thinnest and kind of working myself up without getting too rich, too oily, too moisturizing too quick. I mean, it really is about kind of sandwiching in that hydration. So I'm starting off with like a lighter but deeply hydrating toner. And my bathroom's pretty humid, so it's gonna take me a little bit, my skin a little bit, to kind of like absorb this in. All right, let me tell you what I did in the shower while my layers are kind of sinking in. So I washed my face with the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser, and you know, I've had this shower side for a couple months now actually, and I was like going back and forth between like, what did I think about it? Did I think it was good? Did I think it was bad? Second layer of toner here. And I actually think I do like it. And it's kind of like a hydrating but also moisturizing gel cream kind of cleanser. I mean, it's definitely a gel kind of foaming texture, but it does kind of infuse your skin with a little bit of balancing, like not like a milk cleanser or an oil cleanser, but just a little bit of balancing moisture. And it's not filmy, but it just doesn't feel quite as elegant as like a milk cleanser or an oil cleanser like the one from Avene or the Bioderma one. It's not quite like that, but I actually still kind of enjoy it, and it does, like, when my skin is really dry, it actually does have like a calming effect. So while it's maybe not as elegant, you know, of formulation, it gets the job done, and my skin's been liking it. So yeah, like I think I'm a fan of this. So I did 2 layers of the Make Prem toner, and now I'm gonna go in for the Haruharu Wonder Black Rice Hyaluronic Toner. Now this toner, it has a little bit more body to it, a little bit more slip. It's not super duper thick, but it's got a little bit more, and I'm kind of like building up the weight of my humectants and like the weight of my hydrating layers. So this kind of plays perfectly into that to kind of get a little bit more plumping action and kind of help hug that Make Prem toner into my skin just a little bit better. So it's got kind of like almost that like slightly syrupy kind of like texture to it. And when you get it onto your skin, it feels kind of like slippery, and you can feel a little bit of that like hyaluronic acid plumping, but it's actually not super duper thick. And when I first started using this toner, I kind of was like not sure what I thought about it. I wasn't sure if I loved it, but I actually am enjoying it like as a second toner, which is totally extra and optional. But because I get sent so many products and I like try so many products, it definitely makes sense for me to kind of like maximize what I'm using in my skincare routine. But I like the effect of a slightly plumper, thicker toner on top of a lighter one. So when I was in the shower, I took this opportunity to try out some new body wash and shampoo and conditioner from a brand called Odele. This is like brand new to me. This is the very first time I've used it, and these are products that are geared towards very sensitive skin. And since my skin's been feeling a little bit itchy lately, and and my scalp also a little bit itchy, I thought now would be a good time to give these like a test run. So I used their sensitive body wash first, and I really liked it. It feels very gentle and calming, but still like a nice thick gel that like cleansed my body effectively. And then I used the shampoo and conditioner for sensitive skin. There's no fragrances in here at all, and it's actually like formulated for people with eczema. So the shampoo is okay. It didn't lather up super well at first. I really had to like emulsify it. You know, you get some shampoo in your hair and you kind of like dip back into the shower, get some water, and like really start to work it in. But then it started to foam up well. And I really liked the conditioner too. It's a little bit lighter, but it did leave my hair feeling like really manageable and soft. I just put together like a little protein shake because that workout was really hard. I'm going to be sore tomorrow, and I feel like having a good amount of protein right after working out kind of helps with muscle recovery. So I'm going to go in for some Snail next. I love Snail in the summertime. This is the Snail Mucin Energy Essence from the Klog. This is a Soko Glam exclusive skincare line from them, and I've really been enjoying this. It's pretty much like your good old classic, like snaily kind of gel type of situation here. Yay! I always like that little stringiness, but I love a good like snail essence. I'm just using this for the place of my serum. I love a good snail essence because it's really hydrating, right? Like it really gets in there, hydrates, and really kind of makes your skin bouncy and plump, which is what I'm really seeking for in the summertime. But I also find that snail essences tend to have a little bit of like balancing moisture to them. They're not greasy. You know, they're not heavy, but like with combination skin, they really just kind of seem to balance out the skin, and there's almost even like a calming element to them too, which I really enjoy. So now my skin feels really hydrated. It feels really plump with just a little bit of moisture for my dry areas, but it doesn't feel overwhelmed. My skin still feels like it can breathe because it's pretty hot outside today. So now I'm going to go in for some eye gel. This is the Klairs Fundamental Eye Awakening Gel, which you know I've loved for many years, and it really is a summertime staple for me because if this routine is all about like plumping humectants, this is totally like, this totally fits the bill. So this gel, it's so cooling, like it feels really refreshing. I don't cool it, by the way, but it just has that burst of hydration on your skin. I love that effect. So this like cools, refreshes, hydrates, kind of like the Snail essence. It has that little bit of like non-greasy moisture to it, which feels really great. And I just love how this like plumps out my under eyes especially. My under eyes always need that plumping action just to kind of help smooth out like the little fine lines and stuff. So you may be shocked to hear I am not going to be using a liquid gold from Stratia. In the summertime, if I ever skip it, it's going to be in the morning in the summertime. And today, my barrier, my skin feels really strong. It's not overly dry. It's not sensitive or irritated. Like it's actually feeling in balance, which is great because like in the springtime, I was struggling. But now that summer is here, my skin's kind of evening out and I just don't feel like I need that layer today. But my U-zone does tend to get a little bit more dehydrated and dry even in the summertime. So what I'm going to do is just a few like baby drops of facial oil just to kind of make sure that that area stays nice and comfortable throughout the day. So this is the Ghost Democracy Soft Glow Facial Oil, and this is a blend of like 11 different oils, but they're actually very good for dehydrated skin because it has a really good omega-6 fatty acid profile, which is really what you want to look for if you do suffer from dehydration. Those are the types of oils that are going to kind of help strengthen up your moisture barrier and help fight the hydration loss from your skin. So here's what I'm going to do to keep the layer really light. This dropper is a little bit messy, so I'm trying to be careful here, not get it all over my counter. Okay, that was 1, 2, 3. I'm putting it into the palm of my hand, and what I'm going to do is just kind of like, what was I doing? I lost my train of thought. I'm just going to like mix it together, and I'm going to like kind of press it into my skin. And this kind of just helps keep the layer a little bit lighter than like directly applying it to my face. At least that's what I found. And then when you kind of press it in, it kind of helps with the absorption too, so that you're not getting like a really heavy layer on the skin. And you can even do it again, kind of warm up your hand. It's actually pretty relaxing when you really warm your hand up. Okay, so now that my skin has a little bit of oil in it, I'm just gonna give it a minute to really kind of settle into my skin and take this opportunity to get some body lotion on because this skin is getting dry too. And then actually put some clothes on because it's a little bit weird. I'm just like hiking my towel up right now on camera. For body cream, I'm gonna go for the Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream. You know, I really like this. When my skin is really dry, I actually don't mind this on my face. It's quite occlusive. Not for summertime, not quite right for my face right now. Although maybe for a tretinoin night it would be pretty good, but for my dry body skin, it's perfect. And I mean, like, look at how well it absorbs. It's not streaky. It's absorbing right into my skin so I can get changed right away. All right, I'm back. I'm moisturized, I'm changed, I'm feeling good, and it's time to seal it all in with moisturizer. This is the Purito Dermide Relief Barrier Moisturizer. I just did a video a couple of weeks ago featuring the Dermide line, and I'm a really big fan. It's all about taking care of your moisture barrier. And this moisturizer has ceramides, which you know I love, but there's something real special about this texture that I'm loving for summertime because it is like more lotiony. It's almost like a whipped kind of a texture. You see, it's just a little bit lighter than, say, Iliune or CeraVe, which you know I absolutely love. And so for the morning time, this kind of silkier, lighter lotion feels awesome, but it actually has like a good amount of occlusivity, which is perfect because I just need a little bit in the summertime to fight the dehydration because it does still happen. But it's all about just kind of like, you know, kind of knowing the weight of the layers and stuff that you need for any given season. And so this just seems to be like that right balance between the nourishing ceramides, that kind of like more like not super oily, but a little bit of that richer feel on the skin without making me super greasy, without being like really, really heavy on the skin. And then it just kind of dries to this like nice occlusive but breathable kind of feel on the skin, which is so heavenly. My skin just feels really refreshed right now, especially after like that really sweaty workout session. Like, ugh, my skin just feels clean and plump and hydrated, and honestly, that's what makes me like keep coming back to my skincare routine over and over and over again because it just makes my skin feel so good. I'm like addicted to that like fresh skincare feeling. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of oil into my hair before I just kind of like lightly dry it. So this is the Oshima Tsubaki 100% oil that I use all the time. You know, I've been talking about this for years. It really is a hero product for my hair, and just a little bit goes a long way. It's a new bottle. There we go. It didn't seem like a little bit, but it's, you can't really see it, but it's not a ton. It's like maybe 5 drops maybe. And then I just kind of work it into my ends first, and this really helps to fight against damage on my ends, like split ends and like those kind of like really dry frayed ends. So now I'm gonna put on sunscreen. No, I didn't forget about sunscreen, and I'm actually going to be using the Roche-Posay UV Correct Daily Lotion Sunscreen. This is SPF 70. This is actually the very first time I'm testing this out. I was at Target like a week ago, and I was just kind of like browsing around, just seeing what they had, and I saw this, and I was reading, I was like, you know, what is this UV Correct? It says it helps reduce the visible signs of sun damage, and I'm like, wait, let me look at this. And I don't know, this product just captured my imagination. Like the marketing just worked really well on me. Basically what it boils down to, this is sunscreen with a good amount of niacinamide and antioxidants. Now niacinamide, as you know, brightening agent, right? Also an antioxidant. It helps with your skin's moisture barrier, so it's going to really kind of help your skin defend against like inflammation, which is actually something that kind of speeds up aging, and it can actually make your skin more vulnerable to UV damage. So anyways, the marketing really pulled me in on this. The basics, what it comes down to is it's using niacinamide to help with brightening, to help defend against like more sun damage, and it helps to work on maybe sun damage that you already have. But I just got intrigued, you know what I mean? It's also one of the few La Roche-Posay sunscreens that I have found that does not contain any drying alcohol or fragrance. So I was like, winner, I really want to try this. It was kind of a splurge for me, like $36, but we'll see how it goes. I did kind of play around with this when I bought it the other day, and it's got kind of like a lighter kind of a texture, which I'm kind of curious for. The only possible downside to this so far that I know of, it's not water resistant. So We'll see. I'm not going outside. It's too hot. I'm not going outside too much today, so I'm not too worried about water resistance. But that could be a drawback for some of us, especially in the summertime. What I'm feeling right now is actually kind of slightly emollient. It definitely does have that kind of lotiony, sunscreen lotiony type of texture. It's adding a little bit of moisture. We'll see how that goes, right? I think right now I'm feeling maybe a little greasy. I know I was a little dewy before. I don't think I was this dewy. But with SPF 70, I mean, you know, you should expect a little bit of greasiness because, you know, when you increase the percentage of the sunscreen filters, you're going to increase the percentage of some of the drawbacks like potential white cast, greasiness, thickness, heaviness, that type of thing. I'm actually going to do a different sunscreen for my neck and chest. No, I didn't forget that either. I did stop right at my jawline, but I've been using the Neutrogena Clear Face SPF 50, which, you know, I do actually really like. This is sweat resistant. I've been using this for my neck and chest because with summer, with more exposed skin and stuff, I'm actually, maybe you can't, you see, I'm like actually starting to break out a little bit on my chest from the sweat and the sunscreen mixing together. So I don't know, they say clear face and breakout free and stuff. I don't know, but I've been trying it out to see if this is maybe just a little bit kinder on my skin because my chest is like, you know, if one little thing is off, my chest will break out pretty quickly. So while I let the sunscreen fully absorb into my skin, I think I'm just gonna do a little light makeup. I don't wanna wear much, but just a little bit to kind of pull it together. I am gonna dry my hair a little bit. Now I have long, thick hair. It takes a long time to dry. And I don't feel like doing my whole head today. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of like dry the roots so that the rest of it can air dry without it being like too funky, right? So I'm just gonna kind of like speed it up a little bit. I'm just gonna dry out the roots and then probably put it up into a bun so that when my hair is fully dry, I take it down and I have some like little tousled waves. So my roots are dry. The ends are still pretty damp, but I honestly don't really care because it takes so long to dry the whole thing. And honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. It's the weekend. I just want to be laid back. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like gonna pull it back up into a ponytail, twist, twist, tuck the ends in, and then I have this really cool French pin. I bought this at Target, and this is so good for holding your bun in place. So just kind of like stab it in, and then I'm kind of like pulling it out here, going in, and then watch this. I don't even know how to describe it, but like that. That helps it really stay in place. And then I'm going to push it in and I'm kind of like anchoring it through the bun and then like kind of down to my scalp so that it really stays. Because these pins, like if you don't know that technique, it's easy for them to slip out. And there you go. It like holds the perfect bun in place. I love these French pins. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna fill in my eyebrows. I feel like that makes the biggest difference when I just wanna do like a little bit of makeup. So I'm just brushing first my eyebrow hairs up a little bit to kind of help give them a shape. So this is Urban Decay Inked Brows. I really like this because it's, it says it's waterproof. I would say maybe it's like water resistant, but it definitely doesn't like smudge when you get super duper sweaty. It's a kind of a nice summertime type of product, and it's easy to remove too. So even though it is smudge resistant and stuff, it doesn't seem to be difficult to remove. Okay, so already that just kind of like gives a little bit of lift to my face. I have been going back and forth, like, do I want to put on a little bit of light like concealer? I definitely don't want to wear heavy foundation. And then I decided I actually just want to put on the Rescue Balm, the color correcting green cream from Hero, which you've heard me talk about before. I think this stuff is just genius. I really enjoy it. It's like the original Rescue Balm, which is like a skin repairing cream. It's really good after you've popped a pimple because it really helps your skin heal up faster. But it has some green tint in this version, and that helps to neutralize redness on the face. And I have found that it's just the right amount to just kind of give me that little bit of evenness, because you see I do have some redness under my eye and especially around my nose, which can make me look a little bit tired. But the green just, it's subtle, but like it's just enough. And for a hot day like today, it's like I said, it's the weekend, I'm taking it easy. It's just that little bit of extra help without overwhelming my skin. It just blends right in really easily. The green does not stick around. It's very, very subtle, but it's just going to kind of have some of those light reflecting particles and just a little bit of that green tint to kind of cover up that redness while still letting your skin breathe. This is very light and comfy on the skin. This is a great product to have on hand, especially if you do get like a lot of breakouts with some redness, because you know there's skin soothing elements in here and skin repairing elements in here. It's really good for when you have a pimple, but it's also good if you're kind of like me and you just get a little bit of redness, natural redness on your face. So do you see like how it just kind of like takes away some of that natural redness and it just like kind of perks up my skin? So I didn't cover anything up. I don't have any heavy makeup on, but just a little bit of color correction went a long way. And I think maybe just some light mascara. This is the Bambi Eyes Mascara from L'Oreal, and this is the waterproof version. I think it was like from all the mask wearing over the last couple of years, I was getting a lot of mascara smudging. And like I think it was like from my mask like really riding up close to my eyelashes, and I would just get a lot of smudging, so I just kind of moved over to waterproof, and it has been nice because I don't have to worry too much about smudgy under eyes. Panda eyes, right? Okay, and then I'm just gonna finish it off with some lips. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat. This is a lip liner pencil, and the color is Pillow Talk. So this is kind of like that My Lips But Better kind of color. It's a little bit rosy. My lips are so pale, so I need a little bit of help. And I just line my lips. I'm not worried about being like super duper thin line and like really, really precise. I'm just kind of filling in the edges of my lips. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of like smear it. Kind of move it down. I just want like a little flush of color, not like a full on like lipstick. So that just kind of gives me that little flush of color that my lips need to be a little bit more lively. And then I'm just using the Urban Decay Plumping Shine Balm. This is the clear color, which is coconut water. So this is just a clear lip gloss. I will tell you everything that I've used has been fragrance free except for this. There is some fragrance. I kind of enjoy it. It's kind of like a vanilla coconutty kind of smell. Luckily this has not bugged my lips, but you know, I wanted to point that out because pretty much everything I do use is fragrance free. And I can usually get away with a little bit of fragrance in my lip products. I actually have not had lip eczema for a really long time, so no worries. All right, and that's it. You know, that's how I layer in lots of hydration for my dehydrated skin while still keeping things really light for summertime. A little bit of sunscreen, a little bit of makeup, and I am ready to go. I'm gonna finish this protein shake and then I've got some errands to run. So thanks for joining me this morning. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.